I am. What are y'all doing? What have y'all been doing? I have missed y'all so much. Y'all know what day it is. It's Feral Monday. And I think I'm in the mood for some silvers. So I get to use this again because this does have a very beautiful silver, but I want to give you a little bit easier way to wear them. So warmer tones with a cool tone, it's going to be so pretty, so dimensional, and it's also a lot easier. I say that because cool tones can be a little bit frightening before we pull everything together. So the warm tones are a lot more forgiving while we're going. So let's just go ahead and start with this shade. See where we go. You'll see it there on the side of the brush. I'm going to zoom y'all in now. And I'm trying to decide, you know what? We haven't done a cut crease in a while. Let's do something of the cut crease nature. So the reason I'm mentioning that is because I want to keep this lid space as clean as possible, even though I will be carving it. Product on the brush towards the ceiling, and then we have more control. Now we might reach for a black eyeshadow in a little while, but we'll see. We'll see where this look takes us. We're gonna grab that color right there. We grab that on the tip of the brush because now we wanna really start to define with it. I think we might need to grab some black eyeshadow too. Since it is Feral Monday, come on. But for now, let's add a little bit more depth with the darker brown. Now we're gonna need an E28, and I'm gonna use this black eyeshadow. I've actually been using this palette. This was in the advent calendar. I believe you can get it on its own though. It's the Infinity Deep palette from LH Cosmetics, and this black eyeshadow is phenomenal. So I'm gonna take that on the E27, and we're gonna press this. You can kind of feel the bone there. We're going underneath that. And anytime you have a smaller brush, you're just gonna have so much more control. And if you struggle with black eyeshadow, a small brush. You need to get a small brush and then hop back on the black eyeshadow train because it'll change everything. The placement, even how it holds that black eyeshadow, you just have so much more control. I got too excited and did not tag the palette, but it's really, really nice. I've used these shades too, and I've just kind of left it here on my vanity because I really, really like it. So now, I know this is gonna look unblended, but we need to get our black layer down first, and I'm gonna show you how to blend that. But we need to extend it. I also want you to notice how when I relax my eyes, it's peeking out. We need that because that's what kind of gives that illusion. That's what makes it your eyes look larger because it makes that socket look deeper. Yeah. Okay, so let's wipe off our brush. Sheila wanted to make an appearance to see y'all. There's that. Now let's grab this shade again, the one that's running away. And notice that I grabbed it on the side of the brush. That way I can work in small sections and just kind of transition this into the black. You can kind of see that come to life right there in that small little area. Just take it there. While Ben tap dances in there. One of y'all said that and I can't unhear it. I lost my mind. Y'all made me laugh so hard. Now let's keep tapping. I'll just let this run out so y'all can see. And then I'm gonna show you how to blend this next part. We gotta keep tapping. So now we're gonna grab our E28 again, and we're gonna grab the two shades that we started with, just a touch of each. See how little is on the brush? And we'll start to tap and transition. And you'll see it all start to come together. I already finished this one over here. I want you to be able to see that. So I am going to take micellar water and I'm going to grab a C30. Now, you might be wondering, why didn't you just leave the lid space bare? Well, I wasn't sure where I was going with my look. A lot of times I don't really know, so could I have left this without eyeshadow base? Absolutely, but you just don't know where your makeup journey is going to take you. So I'm going to take micellar water. Look how cool that is already. And I'm going to go above that fold. See my natural fold there? I want to carve a little bit above that. And I'm also going to do a smoky wing. I'm wild today, y'all. Some might even say feral. Isn't this satisfying? And then I just wipe it on Sheila, and then I just continue to clean it up a little bit more and perfect. So let's grab some more eyeshadow base, and we'll go right where we just cleaned up. But I'm going to do something a little bit different. Instead of going in with the silver next, we're gonna actually do a smoky liner. It's gonna be so much easier before we get that shimmer on there. But let's just go ahead and take this all the way up to the black. Jean is having a crisis. And there's his granny. He's like, where are you? He's so sweet. So now we have our black eyeshadow again on our E27. And the reason we're gonna do this before we do the silver is because once you add shimmer, shimmers tend to take over. So if we can get our matte in here first, we're gonna get a really, really, really nice smoky transition. Ooh, look at that precision. I'm actually gonna connect it this way. Don't worry about all this. That's gonna be messy for a second. But let's tap it and smudge. I'm actually posting a video tonight about hooded lids or lids with folds, and I use this brush. I'm excited for y'all to see it. Granny and June are having a disagreement. Apparently that is her arm and not his arm. Now let's just grab a touch of this color and continue to transition a little bit more. Might actually warm it up a little bit. I'm gonna grab that mustard shade. Mustard. I like mustard, by the way, y'all. Actually, I want a little bit warmer brown. Back into this palette, the one we already mentioned. We'll grab just a smidgy of this one. I wanted something a little bit warmer. There we go. Perfect. So I actually love the idea of the silver. It's gorgeous, by the way. Absolutely, I lost it. I found it. Absolutely gorgeous. Let's load our brush up. Look how nice that is. But I like the idea of it just being in the center. And if you haven't tried the C30 with your shimmer shadows, you are missing out. That's so cool. And I'm taking it all the way to the black. I love it. You're always going to see me relax my eyes, and by relax my eyes, I'm just going to let them do their thing. Do you notice how hooded my eyes are? The silver completely disappears. See? I feel like y'all... Obviously, they're not extremely hooded eyes, but I'm getting older, y'all. Things are getting sleepy. I don't mind it. We'll just put more glitter on it, won't we? Take this one all the way over this way a little bit more. And then there is going to be the creasing, but we can always just set that with powder, any kind of powder. I'm trying to decide if I want to take it. It's so cool like that. Let's see if we can blend it more and see what happens over this way. Yeah, we'll just lightly set it with this, but we'll just let it be most impactful through the center. All right, I decided that the silver is just too good. I'm gonna go ahead and make it opaque all the way across the lid. It's a beautiful silver. And I feel like some of you might ask, I wanna make sure you know I do not wet my brushes. That base is tacky, so that's gonna be enough moisture to kind of make it grab on and be extremely pigmented. This is gorgeous. I'm glad I did that. Precision. I'm excited to use this one. I already know I love the other ones, but I actually have not used the silver one yet from Stila. This is going on our waterline. Stunning, of course. They're just so pigmented. Look at that. This is so much fun. So we're doing Ardell 576 lashes. Here we go. Let's do our Revlon. This is the full cover matte full cover. What is the exact name? Color Stay Full Cover Foundation. And this shade, let me just show it to you. It's a good match. See that? Woo! I love a good match. I think it's one of my favorite things in makeup. So let's grab our prototype brush and then we'll start to melt that in. Isn't that beautiful? And it's so affordable. I get so excited when I can find affordable things that just perform so beautifully. Cover up that redness. Grab a little bit more for here. This is a teaching moment. You'll notice that I never take my foundation all the way underneath my eye. And the reason why is because it's best if we use the smallest amount of product underneath our eye. So concealer is going to go there anyway, and sometimes even corrector. So just keep the layers there very, very thin as you can, because we'll put concealer there and then we might even put corrector. So we definitely don't want foundation. And then of course we have to put powder too. So we're just keeping those layers at a minimum underneath our eye. Now we're going to take a fluffier brush. And remember, the fluffier the brush, the less coverage. The denser the brush, the more coverage. So we're going to take this through here. And I still want that same amount of coverage right here. But where I don't want that is I don't want it here. I don't want a lot of coverage, and then I hardly want any across here. But when you melt that in, it just changes the eye look. Look at this eye. Look at how smooth that looks compared to this one. And I want you to see that there's almost nothing on the brush. It's such a small amount. Same thing over here. Isn't that fun? I was so happy when I first tried that out. Changed everything. Let's do our Sephora Collection Concealer. I'm not going to do corrector today. My under eyes have really recovered from last week when I was feeling a little under the weather. Now I feel perfect. I might sound a smidgy stuffy, but I feel like dancing. No, not quite like dancing, but I never feel like dancing. So you're only going to see this under my eyes today because I feel this foundation gave me enough coverage everywhere else. I don't really think I need any more concealer anywhere else, so we're just going to leave it as is. They're talking about Christmas down there. They're having fun. They're making me laugh. So you're hearing my mama talk, and she's talking to Ben. And all we would do all day long is laugh. It's absolutely wonderful here. And then I have all of y'all, and y'all make me laugh even more, and y'all are amazing. Oof, that concealer's good. Just want to let y'all know that the bundles were only back for holiday, and they're going quickly. So I just wanted to let y'all know that really fast. There they are. They're for holiday, and now's the time to get one. Now back to what I was doing. Now I am feeling a little spicy, so I'm gonna grab pink corrector. Now what pink does is it brightens light to medium tan skin tones. And I'm gonna put that on top of the concealer. So a corrector goes underneath. This is a brightener. That really might help you. I have videos on this on Reels that goes a lot more in depth, but I just felt spicy, and I felt like brightening up this under eye area because it's a very spicy look and it's Feral Monday. But think of that. So pink or lavender, those would be brighteners for lighter skin tones, fair skin tones. And then after that, we would go into peach to brighten apricot, yellows, then the peach apricot for very deep skin tones. But again, I have videos on this that are very inclusive, and they go way more in depth. Check Reels. I want to give you another tip. I feel like I've used this once, but this was a very viral blush on TikTok. It's from Persona, and the color's called Bubble, but that's not what I'm talking about. I find that people are very back and forth on whether we should kind of go right in with a stick or put it on the brush. Do whatever's working for you, but for me, I'm going to let you know one of the reasons it might be lifting your foundation when you go in. Do you notice how wet my foundation still looks? My concealer still looks nice. What the heck? We'll get back to that. My concealer still looks nice and wet. See how, I mean, there's really no other word. It's wet paint. So if I go on top like this, it's going to be okay because it's not dry. I'm able to kind of tap that. Again, you're still never going to see me just go on and really swipe, but I'm able to just directly go right onto the skin because of how, and I'm actually just going to blend this in with my foundation brush. Let that foundation kind of melt it in on top. Isn't that pretty? And you can see that it didn't lift any of that foundation. I still have all of my coverage. It's just about when you're layering this. If the foundation had been dry, we would not been able to do that. But since everything was still wet and we could still melt it all together, it was perfectly fine. So basically, there's no right or wrong in makeup. It's just where your makeup's at that time, where the product's at, where you're at and what you like. I never really like a complete right or wrong. There's a solution for every season. Let's set with some Givenchy powder. Ooh, that is smooth. This eye is so pretty. I love silver and warm tones. And then we'll just go ahead and set the rest over here. And I'm going to use powder bronzer so I can go ahead and start to set everything else. Of course, that puff is that Rose and Ben Beauty, the setting puff. Grabbing more of the powder. I love how easily it goes around the brows. Because again, I always do my brows first. So I needed something that would go around and have a lot of precision. All right, I'm feeling spicy. I want to grab my Gucci bronzer. I just feel like it looks so blurring. Look how nice that looks. Woo! And a little bit goes such a long way, and I don't have to work too hard to layer it up if I don't want to. I do want you to make sure that you're noticing how I'm holding the C40. Notice that the shorter end is facing my ear and I'm pressing. And when you use it that way, the brush just does all the work for you. because it's shaped perfectly for right there. Melting it into that blush. Just shape the nose a little bit. We're gonna call it shaping instead of contouring because you can shape with bronzer, but it's still not contouring. So whenever you hear me say shape, that means I am bronzing. So let's layer a blush in the similar family there. Isn't that pretty? This is from Make Beauty. Y'all know that concealer I absolutely love, same brand. C41. Get backlash. There we go. And I do want y'all to remember, blush is always the first thing to fade. So if you ever see me put on blush and you're like, oh my gosh, remember it wants to leave. It wants to vacate the face premises. It's out of here. First thing. I want you to remember that. But if you do find that, wow, that's a little bit too much, just grab your puff. There you go. And just go over the edges of it. Now let's grab this shade from this palette. Same E26. And we'll just go right on the very edges of the black eyeshadow. So now I'm actually taking an E26 and the black eyeshadow, and I've just smudged under here. I haven't smudged this one yet. That's just some black eyeshadow I placed. And now we'll just kind of bring it back and forth. And because this brush is so small, it's not going to fluff that powder around as much. So you're not running that risk of fluffing all of that powder into your eye and then your eye watering and messing up everything. You can kind of correct this a little bit more. Okay, so we're getting wild and we're gonna match our lipstick to our transition. Do you see how similar that is? But we need a lip liner. We're still gonna tie it in a little bit more. I don't know what happened to my lip liner. So just a second. So I didn't want to go dark with the lip liner, so we're actually gonna grab another thing here from Buxom. I actually love these lip liners. Y'all see me use these for years. They're so good. And then you do that, and then the little lip brush. By the way, this lipstick is not transfer proof, but it is long wearing. But it's not one that doesn't come off. It comes off. So now I'm putting a little bit, and by a little bit I mean a lot, of this gloss from Almay on top. I felt like it needed a gloss. Look how pretty this highlighter is. That's pretty. It's from Jouer. I found this. It was actually in an advent calendar. And in case you're wondering, I'm really bad at showing advent calendars because I don't show PR, and that's like ultimate PR because a lot of these advent calendars are so luxurious and wild that I would just prefer to get them out and use them. I would just rather you see the product than look at what I have. You'll notice that a lot about how I show things and even what I show in my life. But I'm telling you what I am showing. Look at how pretty that is. Disappears when light is not hitting it. Not too textury. Nice even glow. I like it. Let's go ahead and use that same highlighter. Let's use that on our inner corner. Pretty. Look at how it actually just kind of brightens there. Actually, let's put it on this side of the brush. Pretty. I like this. Okay, I'm done. I like this look. I need to wash my hair. I'm not gonna wash my hair. I'm gonna go edit tonight's post. I really hope it's helpful. It's all about stamping, and stamping is so much easier than having to tug on your eye or drag a liner across your eye, because that tugging, that's when the skipping starts to happen. So if you can just do it in one even motion, it's gonna be so much easier. You'll see in the video. I love you all so much. I'm excited to film some more content today. I have a lot of helpful content that I want to film for y'all. I hope you enjoyed Feral Monday, and tomorrow I usually keep it very simple because I did get feral. Absolutely fair. So tomorrow will be a lot more, it'll be a more simple look. Okay, I love y'all, and I'll see you in the comments tonight.